Ooh!
Seeing this track for the first time in Gran Turismo 7 meant everyone was on equal footing, trying to find the best way to get from start to finish. It didn't take long before a couple of different strategies found their way to become the most popular, and we knew which one we preferred. However, with a small blunder before the race, we found ourselves using the ultimate strategy. But it did make for an interesting finish.
Oh, I'm in the wrong tyres. I'm in the wrong tyres. Oh. Put on the wrong pair of boots. Welcome back to another daily race. This time we have an 11-lap Group 4 race around the Trial Mountain Circuit Reverse. We do have ×8 tyre wear, which does make the tyre selection here quite interesting. You see, we do have a mandatory pit stop and we have the mediums and hards available to us. However, hards are the only mandatory tyre. So taking a look at the most popular strategies, what we're going to see is most people running the hards for 4 to 6 laps before putting on the mediums, or they're going to put on the mediums for 6 to 8 laps before putting on the hards. And for this one, we're going to be running in the 2011 Megane Trophy. That first shift. It's like a proper reaction test. Alright, let's run away. Let's go, Mr. Mute. It's not uncommon to use a softer compound when you're at the front of the grid. However, for us, we knew that we didn't have the pace to match up with those cars around us, so we wanted to be on that faster rubber towards the end of the race when we had some flow and rhythm. But now we're in this situation, we know we have to push forward and try and build a gap to the cars behind. I think they might have brake checked me by accident. Maybe they thought I was going to pass and wanted to get into my slip. But I'm not interested in passing them. I'm more interested in running away from the cars behind. Alright, you had a bad exit out of that. And with that overtake done, we now find ourselves at the front of the grid. We now won't have a slip from anybody else, and we're going to have to push with our own pace and try and make a gap to everyone else. This is a great time to remind you that after the race, we will be looking at the RufffWizard Daily Race Awards, where we'll be looking for the nominees and winners of Best Overtake, Best Livery, and unfortunately, the Most Unlucky Moment. Stick around to the end to find out who our winners are. How are we doing relative to the rest of the grid? It's an okay gap, it's not great. At this point we know we have 1, maybe 2 laps if we're lucky to keep building this gap, because the hard runners are going to be coming into the pits and putting on those faster tyres. So I'd normally pit on lap 5. So 5 on the medium, 5 on the hard, 6 on the medium. Seeing as we're on mediums, I guess we'll try and pit on lap 6. Put on the hards. As we saw from the most popular strategies at the beginning, when you're running the hards first, you can get between 6 and 8 laps. However, we're not sure what it's going to be with this car and with our ability to hold on to the tyres. But as we'll see, it will become painfully clear when it's our turn to put on some new boots. Oh, this is not good. This is not good at all. Had to lift. Bad line through there, bad line. Had to lift. Mr. Mute's gone into the pits, they were on hards. That is not good news for me at all. And put on the hards for... No, I think we've got to put the hards on. We've got to put the hards on. Alright, it's coming. Let's put the hards on for 5 laps. Where am I going to come out? P1? No, not P1. P2? P3? P4? P5? I have no idea. So we've come out in P3, but what we're about to realise is the 2 cars in front of us haven't pit, which means actually we're in net P1. So there's definitely part of that that's down to the pace that we had in the first stint. However, there's also something else that might have helped us out just a little bit.
Something happened to Mr. Mute. He's behind someone.
Unfortunately for Mr. Mute, with a late move towards the pits, they did end up crossing the pit line, so by the time they got out, they had a 3-second penalty, and with where the penalty line is, it's quite a costly mistake.
Alright, so I'm on the slower tyre. And I'm on the tyre that's not going to grip up as well through that final chicane.
We've pretty much said it all there. Being on the harder, slower tyre, we're definitely not going to match pace with the cars behind us, so it's all about damage limitation from this point out.
Let's see if we can hang on. Oh, it's not a good sign. It's not a good sign at all. Oh, Mr. Mute has dropped back even more places. I wonder what's going on back there.
Only a few corners after serving the 3-second penalty, Mr. Mute here bags another 1 second for cutting the chicane. However, as we'll see, they're not the only driver to make this costly mistake.
Gibbo has gone very long.
If you are enjoying this video, it would mean a lot to me if you would give it a like. If you want to see more in the future, you can hit that subscribe, and don't forget, if you hit the bell, you'll get notified when new content comes out.
Look how much slower these laps are on the hards than on the mediums. 4/10 in sector 1. Just bleeding time. I've still got 3 more laps after this. Oh, I'm thinking there's 2 right behind me. Top 5 is going to be tough.
Given a tough start to the week with everyone trying to figure out this new layout, a top 5 would be an absolutely welcome result. However, as you can tell, we don't have that much confidence that we're going to be able to pull this one out the bag. But never say never.
Oh, how I wish I had mediums on right now. Oh, it's a penalty. I've done it. I've got a penalty. No. No, 1 second. That's going to crush me.
Just like Mr. Mute, we put our car on the wrong side of the curb and got ourselves that lethal 1 second penalty, which has just made a hard finish to this race even harder.
Look how quickly they've got onto the back of me now. The real question is, can I come out of this penalty anywhere near the back of another car so I can get slipstream? Because I'm going to be slow.
Coming up to this penalty line where you lose all momentum before a long straight, we weren't sure how many places we were going to lose. So as you can imagine, we were pleasantly surprised when we found ourselves still in a podium position, but still with a lot of work left to keep it that way.
Okay, there's nothing to celebrate about yet, because I'm still on the much slower tyre. They were catching me hand over fist as it was. I didn't need a penalty to help them out. Still got 2 more laps to go.
As we're coming into the last 2 laps, there's still a lot of work to do. However, we can see the light at the end of the tunnel, and there's a chance that we could walk away with a podium.
Less than 2 seconds, that's not a lot. I think it's because I'm now following cars that are on very different compound tyres to me. So I can't take the same lines that they do. But my brain is subconsciously trying to. Nope. Don't do it, don't do it. They're going to have such good slip twice now before the end of this race. The home straight and the tunnel. That's if they don't get past me before the tunnel. Oh, they're going to want that podium too. They're definitely going to send it. They've got so much more grip than me. Alright, let's do everything we can. Oh, they're going to have me as soon as we get into this tunnel. Maybe even before we get there. Them trying to go up the inside might have just saved me a little bit. I might be able to sneak away with P4 here. Don't bump me now. What did you expect to happen? You can't bump me right before a braking zone. I'm not trying to brake check you or anything, I've got to make it around the corner. Had to lift a little bit. Is it going to be enough? Ooh! Let's go! Podium. Yes!
What a result. I'm definitely happy with that podium there. And I've got to give some credit to Bumper Jr. They did initiate some contact right there in that last lap. However, they didn't cross the line into dirty driving. But they did still race as hard all the way through to the finish line. But anyway, now the race is over, let's go on to my favourite part, the RufffWizard Daily Race Awards. As always, let's start with the best overtake.
First up, we have Chris, who sees an opportunity going into the tight left-hander. They place their car on the inside and go as far over as humanly possible and secure themselves P10. Next up, we have Jonesy. Going through turn 2, they get a much better exit than both cars in front, giving them enough traction to be able to put their foot to the throttle and get up alongside P5. As they're coming up towards turn 3, they make sure to give enough room, and they can see in front of them that P4 has a lot of understeer, so they take the opportunity, get along the inside of them, and get 2 places in a couple of corners. And last up we have Carla Moore 86. Taking advantage of the chaos in front, they already snag a couple of places, and then carrying a lot more speed heading towards the tight left-hander, they place the car on the inside of P7, make sure to get the car turned, don't have any contact, and take that spot too.
And the winner is... it's Carla Moore 86.
Anyone who's racing Gran Turismo knows there's going to be moments of chaos, and they can be so visually distracting and cause you to miss your lines. Carla Moore 86 didn't allow that to happen, and they took the maximum opportunity here, gaining 3 places, so that has to be rewarded.
Well done, Carla Moore 86, you are this week's winner of Best Overtake. Now it's time to move on to Best Livery.
First up we have B Blunt with the Michelin Man Megane. The colour blocking here is simple and yet effective, and I like the metallic blue at the back, and the placement of the Michelin Man himself is absolutely spot on. And our second nominee making another appearance is Carla Moore 86, this time for the livery, with the deep and rich purple Fear of the Dark NSX. Now I'm not 100% sure, but I'm going to guess this Fear of the Dark livery is a nod to the Iron Maiden album. Carla Moore 86, if you're watching this, get in the comments and let me know if I got that right. And last but not least, we have the Clwydian Ranger with the Bira Moretti Alpha. Now to be honest, I do think the colour selection and the decal placement do leave something here to be desired. However, the colour blocking itself is absolutely awesome. With a few different tweaks here, I think this could be a really stunning livery.
And the winner is... it's B Blunt.
As I said before, the colour blocking is simple, but the colour selection is spot on and the decal placement is great. And when your car is donning one of the most iconic mascots in the world, you've made the right choice.
Well done, B Blunts, you are this week's winner of Best Livery. Now it's time to move on to our unfortunate winner of Most Unlucky Moment. As always, there are no nominees, we are going straight to the winner, and that is Gibbo993. Let's take a look at what happened.
Coming out of the tunnel, Gibbo993 gets passed by 2 cars and then gets an unfortunate bump to the back, sending them into the wall of the tunnel. Some more contact to the side sends them into the rocks and spinning to the back of the grid. By the time they recover the car, they are far off the rest of the pack. Taking a look from a few cars back, we can see that P7 actually initiates everything here, making their own contact with another car and then getting rear-ended themselves. They initiate the contact with Gibbo 993 and then finish the job. Unfortunate for Gibbo 993's race. Ultimately, Gibbo 993's race didn't get any better from there. You can see they did end up finishing last after that long first stint. However, you've got to give credit to someone who doesn't quit, especially after such an unfortunate start.
I'm so sorry that had to happen to you, Gibbo 993, especially so early in the race and just destroying the rest of it for you. But kudos to you for sticking it out all the way to the end without quitting. That's the habit of a great driver. Anyway, that's all I have for you today. What do you think about the award winners? Let me know in the comments below. We did try out a few new things this week. How did you find it? If you did enjoy the video, give it a like. If you want to see more in the future, hit that subscribe. Feel like you got a little bit more time? I've got a couple of videos for you here. I'm out.